I'm Tom from DIY Life Tech, and this is an answer to the question of what happens if you bump a propane tank. So you might worry about these tanks because obviously they're filled with a flammable fuel, and it's very important to be safe around them. But the good news is, just in casual everyday use, if you have a well-maintained tank, it shouldn't pose any particular risk. Even if you pick it up, and put it down solidly, it's not going to explode or anything like that. The reason for that is that these are pretty solid tanks and they have a lot of safety measures built in. So even if something caused this to go over pressure, for example, there's safety valves that'll fail, so it'll release the fuel in there. So under normal operations of the well-maintained tank, even if you bump it on the ground or you bump into it or something like that, it's not going to be a problem. What you want to, of course, make sure you're not doing is dropping it from a high height, hitting it with any kind of a vehicle, anything where you might cause more serious damage that could actually rupture the stainless steel skin of the tank. And in that case, that could result in a release of the fuel. There are about 600 propane tank explosions per year in the United States, so it does happen. However, they're almost never fatal. It rarely causes injuries. It's more things that aren't maintained well and might come up to too high of a pressure and that kind of thing. So, normal handling should be fine. Again, make sure you're not dropping it from a height or hitting it with a vehicle or anything that might cause a rupture of the skin on here, but you'd have a hard time breaking that in normal day-to-day use. The other thing that's important is to make sure that your propane tank is maintained well. So if the seal is not good on here, if things are rusting out, if you try deliberately to defeat any of these safety devices on there, then obviously that could put it in a situation where bumps and jostles and things could cause an issue. The other thing is to not overfill the cylinder. So if you put too much fuel in there, then it makes it more likely to reach that overpressure type of situation. So the bottom line is, handle it carefully as you would any other kind of, fuel-related object in a day-to-day use. But you don't have to worry about, just this sort of basic handling. However, maintain it well. Make sure that it's not damaged. Make sure you don't overfill it, and if anything rusts or has any kind of issues where it looks like there could be damage to the valves in particular, that's when it's time to go ahead and swap it out for a new tank.